We just want to say thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you for our health and strength.
Yes.
Thank you for your mercy and your grace. Thank you for your healing. Thank you for your protection.
Thank you.
Thank you for our family.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Power Up Man Show, where we use our transparency to lead you to truth. I'm Keith Withrow.
I'm Gary Rambo.
And basically what we mean by that is we want to use our life experiences that we've dealt with, or we've been in close proximity with someone who has dealt with it, and we want to discuss it to help somebody out there, to help that one person that may need to hear what we have to say, that can help them through a tough time.
That's right. You know, a lot of times, many of us have dealt with depression, and of course, I'm no exception. You know, for me, on a personal level, depression has been what I would call a functional depression. Going to work, paying bills, you know, doing a lot of things you would normally do.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like you're just doing exactly what you have to do.
Oh, yeah.
You're only doing like, you know, you're doing what you have to do because I know, okay, if I don't go to work, you know, okay, we're not going to eat, lights going to be turned off.
That's right.
You know what I mean? All that stuff, you know.
Right.
Family can't function, all that kind of stuff. I don't go to work. So there's the obligations there that's going to keep you moving, you know, in that direction. But at the same time, while I was in the process of doing that stuff, you know, still feeling that like a heaviness, right? You know, feeling a level of sadness that hinders me from being able to function, you know, in optimum levels and all that kind of stuff, and experiencing the, you know, the happiness and the joy and stuff, you know, life can bring.
Right.
So it's something that, you know, really the enemy is, you know, has used on many of us on many occasions, you know. And of course, I mean, I believe that and know that many of us have just been dealing with it on various levels about different subject matter.
That's right. We just talked about, we've done a couple of segments on insecurities which could lead into different levels of depression. So just like you were saying earlier, that I've said before, sometimes when people think about someone being depressed, they're thinking about somebody sitting in a closed-in room. They won't come out. They're not saying anything. They're not eating, and all those type of symptoms those are all byproducts. But that doesn't necessarily mean that a person. Those are the only symptoms that people have when they're in a state of depression. Now I'm gonna go into it a little deeper with men. A lot of times, men are the very ones that are struggling with depression, but they're the ones that are like, as Gary was talking about earlier. These are the guys that are walking around functional, like they're doing everything that people normally do. Most people don't even know that they're in a state of depression. Like even the person doesn't know that they're in a state of depression. You know, and a lot of times, one of the things that people will do when they are depressed, a lot of times they'll be prideful and they'll be arrogant.
Yep.
Which that's the opposite of what you would think. You would think a person, if they're depressed, that they would be like broken down or in a subdued state. But actually, some people do the opposite because, again, what do? Overcompensate, right? And they'll be prideful and they'll be very arrogant a lot of times. And in most cases with men, we will be angry.
I got you. Yeah.
Or have like short fuses.
Oh, hold on. Remember when we were talking about the example of the uncle that just sits in his chair, watching the game.
Don't mess with his remote, man. That's uncharted territory.
Don't mess with the remote.
Right.
Wife's in the kitchen yammering, you know.
That's right.
Talking to, you know, all of her friends and family and stuff, you know, being loud, all that stuff going on. You know, but Unc's been sitting there, that's his routine.
Yep.
That's what he does all the time. Right. You know, but the people around him many times don't understand and don't see it, that he's depressed.
He's been checked out a while.
He has been checked out for a long time.
He's in that cave. That's what we talk about, going in the cave. You might have heard me use that term a lot. Going in your cave and not coming out. Meaning, a lot of times men and women will go in a place, a dark place. They'll go in and they'll enclose themselves and they won't come back out. So it's not like they'll be in a room. Some people actually entomb themselves in their room sometimes. And they really will go in a room and stay in bed and won't get out. But when I'm saying relating to the term like a cave, I'm talking about a mental place, a state of mind, area in which you're recluse. You've fallen back out of the mainstream, even if you're acting out by talking to your friends or having conversations, but you're in this dark place.
Like
you're
a proverbial cave. Yeah.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So you're I can relate to this because I've been in situations where I've gone into those places. I've been in a cave before. I'm not ashamed to say that I was in a cave. It happened a couple of times. Once was when I went in the cave, was when our family business had ran into some difficulties and it was a difficult time. And my previous marriage was in a dismantled state, and the other one was when I actually went through the divorce process, and I was in a dark place. Now I'm gonna tell you what I did to get out of it. I mean, it was so heavy, and I've gone to people's places that are in depression, like some of my friends that are depressed, and you can actually go in that place that they're at, and that they've turned it into like a cave. Like it'll be dark.
Yeah.
It'll be like, and you can walk in and you can feel it. It's like someone threw a lead blanket over you, and it's just so heavy. It's diminishing and it's suffocating. But when I went through mine, it was a tough time. And I'm gonna say this. Now what I always say about getting to where the rubber meets the road. Here we go again. Here's Satan. Satan likes to use the attack on our minds. That's his first area of attack.
Mind is the battlefield.
If he gets in your mind, the body will follow.
That's right.
So I'm going to tell you something. That depression has a lot to do with a spiritual attack. I'm not ashamed to say it because I've been there. Now, usually, there's something that caused it, some trauma. It could be childhood trauma that has never been dealt with. A lot of men have issues with depression when they have something that their father issues.
Yeah.
Something that their father did or did not do. So men struggle with depressions on father stuff a lot. The one thing that I said I used the most was I spent that time again getting into my word, because seems like that was the only thing that I could hold on to at the time.
Got it.
I just got into my word. I prayed a lot. I studied the Bible. I read the Bible more than I ever had. And secondly, it's so important, again, as we always say, your peer group. I had friends that came to check on me, who was always there for me, making phone calls to me, coming by to see me, having the real hard talks with me. So, one, having a relationship with the Lord. Two, studying his word and praying. Three, peer group. Also, very important, you have to get some help. Some of this stuff, you can't deal with everything on your own.
Yeah.
Life is tough. Life is tough. Life is relentless. It will hit you in your mouth and it will take you out. So guess it's the same thing as if I were to go out here and twist my ankle. I'm going to go to urgent care. I'm going to go to the hospital to get an adjustment made and see what's wrong with me. Same thing happens in your mind. if you've been traumatized, if there was a series of events, there's some things that went on that's just unbearable, and you feel like you can't handle it, and you're slipping into a dark place, and you're pulling back from your loved ones, and you just want to not be a part of a lot of things, and you're feeling some kind of way. Look, it's okay, guys. It's okay to have to seek some help, get some counseling. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you, it really helps, because life is tough and it will devastate you, and sometimes you need that extra help. So I know, especially in our culture, that keep people out of your business. You don't need counseling.
Yeah, generally, it's frowned upon.
Yeah. I beg to differ.
I got you. Me too.
I've been there. Not ashamed. I tell anybody, get counseling. Start out with your people that you trust, your inner circle, the ones who really care about you. I mean, be very, very careful about who is in your circle, because some people, I saw something earlier, instead of you praying with them, they will prey on you.
Yeah.
Be careful.
That's P-R-E-Y.
P-R-E-Y.
That's right.
Not P-R-A-Y.
Right.
So, if you're dealing with someone who's going through that, or if you're going through it, know that it is most likely an attack on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And look at it from that point of view as well, because if you know that it's coming from that area and it is an attack on your mind, then you can handle it a little bit better. Because the one thing I want to say in both occasions with me, the deepest, darkest part of it hit right as you're about to turn the corner from your situation. Now, the thing is, Satan will play it out in your mind that whatever's going on is like amplified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like if you take, some and put an amplifier on something, it makes it bigger and stronger. Right. So it's almost like he'll take that thing, whatever it may be, and make it seem way worse.
Right.
With the what ifs.
We
talked about those earlier.
Yeah.
The what ifs. The what if this happens? What if that happens? What if? And half of the stuff that you're thinking is a big deal that will happen, the what ifs, never happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all a trick.
That's right.
And what I found is, right when you're turning a corner to where there's brightness, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, whatever you're going through, that's when it gets the most difficult, because he knows if he can stop you, if he can get you stopped, if he can get you into a state of depression so deep to where you think the only way to get out of it is to go to sleep and never wake up, that's where he wants to get you. And that's where you got to understand, it's the darkest right before the light.
That's right. You know what's interesting about this? I think a lot of times when we get in these situations, and I've done it myself, we forget to press the rewind button. And what I mean by that is to go back and think about all those times.
Many times.
When you felt you felt exactly the same way, maybe some, kind of similar.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Thinking that, man, how am I going to get out of this?
That's right.
How's this going to resolve itself? Just thinking that's the end.
That's right.
But come to find out, you see where, the Lord delivered you.
That's right.
Out of it.
That's right.
You came out okay.
That's right.
You went on, and a lot of maybe a little bit of time has passed, maybe a lot of times passed, but that's happened over and over and over and over and over and over again.
That's right.
But Satan is good in the fact he's good at trying to make you believe that particular time.
Yeah, this one is different.
This was different.
You can't get out of this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is it.
This is it.
This is it, man.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is where your demise is,
this
right
is it right
here.
This is where you're gonna buy it, right?
Right.
Here. Yeah.
But that's a lie.
That's a lie.
He's the father of lies.
He's the father. His native tongue is lies.
That's right.
He's a great deceiver.
Yeah.
So guess what? Both times that I fought, the light was right around the corner. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Both times, the blessings and the reward around the corner were huge. Don't tell me he didn't know that.
Right.
He got to stop you.
Right.
Your reward was right around the corner. Mm-hmm. What is the reward? I'm not talking about monetary. I'm just saying just what you thought was going to take you out. It didn't. And things got great afterwards. Mm-hmm. Everything opened up. Like you came out of the cave. It was bright and sunshiny outside. It was a rainbow. It was beautiful.
Right. Yeah.
But you're saying to myself, wow, the stuff I was thinking about doing, the stuff that was going on, I thought it was like the end and it was just going to take me out. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even that big of a deal.
That's right.
But I'm going to tell you something about it. If you make it through it, and you will make it through it, mm-hmm. when you come out the other side, you're stronger. You're better. You're seasoned. You went through that desert. You went through that storm. You made it through the storm. You came out of the other side.
That's right. Yeah.
Now you're stronger and better than you was before. Mm-hmm. Now you can just remember, keep that in the Rolodex. Mm-hmm. Hey man, I made it through that. Mm-hmm. So when you get to the next one, say you go back, rewind.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go back in my favorites. I'm gonna go back in my history. I've been through this before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And guess what? Made it through that. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna make it through this too.
Yeah.
Trials and tribulations are a guarantee. You will have trials and tribulations. Period. Mm-hmm. That's just the way it is.
And guess what we're doing right now? We're hitting the rewind button right now. Just to let you know you're going to get through it.
You're going to get through it. Hey, we're saying all this to say, this may not be for everybody, but somebody needs to hear this. One person.
Just one.
One person needs to hear this. It'll be all right. It's not as bad as it looks. Mm-hmm. Have positive people around you. People who care about you and love you. Mm-hmm. Pick your circle very carefully. It'll be all right. Don't fall for the trick. There's so many people that thought it was the end and they had and wanted to go to sleep and never wake up. And they left life far too early.
That's right.
They never got a chance to have a fulfilling life. And that's not just people who we think that should do this to themselves because they have a rough life. You got people who are the most highly sought after and thought of people on earth that struggle with depression.
Yep.
Some of the most unhappy people are the wealthiest people. So to let you know right there, money and wealth does not solve it. You still can be attacked.
True.
So my point is, what we talked about earlier, you have to have peace from within. Know who your creator is. Have a relationship with him. Get to know who you are. And that way, when outside things hit you and life throws its best at you and you get at the end of your rope, you can tie a knot in it and hang on. Mm-hmm. See?
Yep.
That's got to come from
Yeah.
Who's in you and who you are. Outside can affect you if you're good inside. If you're not used to having to wear the mask and you're used to operating without that mask on, if something comes along, you're exposed and you don't have that mask, you don't not feeling naked because you're good from the inside out. Your exterior does not determine what happens on the interior because the interior is where you're good. So whether you get hit in the mouth with life and things don't look as they should or the way you want them to look, if you're good inside, you got a relationship, you can persevere. You can go through that thing. You know, this is only temporary. So you got to know, nothing lasts forever. The storm has to come to an end at some point.
Actually, when you look at boats, why do they sink? Water gets on the inside.
Exactly.
That's right.
Water gets on the interior of the boat. The integrity of the boat was compromised.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
That's why it's so important to work on your inner person. Not the guy with the mask. Not the woman with the mask. The mask is not going to help you. Work on the person without the mask. Work on that person from inside out. And that'll make you more stronger. And that means that your hull won't be
compromised. Yeah.
That's some good stuff, man.
Yes, sir.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, depression is major because you could be suffering from it and don't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
Guys womanize, do all sorts of stuff. A lot of alcohol use and abuse, a lot of womanizing, a lot of anger issues. A lot of people don't even know that men are 4 times more likely to commit suicide than women. 4 times.
Wow.
So what does that mean? Men are struggling. Men are struggling. And a lot of them are struggling and don't even know it. That's some of the stuff that we talk about in our Power Up meetings. We have these type discussions with the men. So if you're interested in coming to one of our meetings, make a comment and or go check out the website. And you can find out more information as to how you can have access to some of these meetings that we have. And
well, hey guys, just again, make sure you comment. Let us know what you think.
Yep.
Let us know what you'd like to see us cover.
Yep.
We really value your feedback.
Yeah. Hey, it'll be okay. For whoever this is for. Hey man, it'll be okay. The Lord loves you. We love you.
Yes.
And like we always say at the end of all the segments, power up, brother.
That's right.
Power up.
Power up.
We love you. We out of here. My daughter goes to us, "Hey dad, bird nest." I said, "Bird nest, huh?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "A bird might try to might try to land some, maybe lay some eggs in your bird nest." I said, "Oh man, talking about my bird nest, man."